Hi there, this is Niki Rowland designing for Freckled Fawn. This month I'm using the September Embellishment kit, the black and white kit, as well as some arrows left over from the August kit. Um, Today I've decided to do something a little bit different. I've always been really intrigued by the Week in the Life project by Ali Edwards, but I've never ever managed to achieve a Week in the Life album. It just doesn't seem to work for me. Every time I try it, I fail. So today I decided to try a very small version of the Week in the Life, just to capture my daily life, and a snapshot of what my weeks are like at the moment. I was completely inspired by the Days of the Week wood chips, and also really loved the vellum sticker that was a scallop shape with hearts in it. So I recreated this a cut file using my silhouette machine, and I decided to see if I could get all of the wood chips on the page, and do a very small amount of journaling about each day of my week. So cut three of those strips as a cut file, and cut those with black cardstock and stuck them onto my layout. And I wanted some extra lines because obviously there's 7 days in a week. So I just simply added some lines using a black thread and machine stitching. So that gave me the 7 days of my week, and somewhere to write about what I'd been up to. So now I'm just getting all of those wooden chips, all the wooden words stuck in place. I'm sticking them down with glossy accents so they don't, once they're dry, they really don't move. Because they have curly bits, they don't sit perfectly on top of each other, and I don't like that look anyway. So having them slightly staggered works really well for me and my style, and then fits in also with the curly nature of the letters too. My plan at this point is to add a photograph for every day, um, just one, and obviously they have to be printed quite small. So I use a Canon selfie printer. I plan to crop my photos to square shapes, and to print them 4 up with borders, so they're really quite tiny. When it came to actually deciding on my photos, I actually had far too many that I wanted to include, so I've ended up with a few more than just one a day, and the layout looks very busy once it's finished, but I absolutely love it, and it's great that I've managed to do this project. You can see that I've embellished the lines, the stitched lines, with some of the vellum stickers, the strip stickers. So I've got those in place, and I'm now tucking in my photographs that I managed to finally get printed, decide upon and get printed off. So I'm just arranging those, seeing where I can put them. Obviously the photos are trying to relate them to each day of the week, but some of them have ended up in slightly different places. Also, at the time of doing this layout, Sunday hadn't happened yet, so I've only got photos up until Saturday. And Sunday, you can see I've just put a blank photo or square for a photo next to the word Sunday, and I'll leave that journaling blank as well and fill that in after, off camera, once Sunday has actually happened. So now I'm just attaching all of my photos. I'm sticking them flat at the bottom and raising the top part up on foam pads to give all of them a little bit of dimension. Normally I mount my photos on pattern paper, but because these photos are super tiny and I don't have much room left on my layout, I decided to do away with that and simply just add my photos. They all have a small white border anyway from the way that I printed them, so they just about stand out. Also, I'm going to fill in the gaps around the photos with lots of journaling, so I hope that they will turn out okay. You can see that I also added in some of the puffy stickers from the kit, and I haven't gone crazy with embellishments at this point because I just wasn't sure how much journaling I was going to be able to fit in, and I wanted to get all of my wording down, and I'll come back to embellishing once my writing is in place. I quite often use a ruler to draw lines so that I can journal in a straight line, but I've decided not to do that on this layout because I really am short on space. So I'm just going to keep my handwriting really tiny, and we'll have to curve and fit around the other things that's on the layout already. So if I had lines, that would be more restrictive. You might have noticed that next to the photograph of my nails, I had run out of room completely, and I had one more word that I had to write in, but obviously I couldn't write with a grey pen on the black cardstock border because it just wouldn't have shown up. So I just wrote that on another piece of scrap white cardstock and cut it out so it was really tiny. And I've just stuck that last word on top of the black and white border. It looks fine. It actually looks quite nice. It was a happy accident, if you like. So this is as far as I can go with my journaling for the moment because, as I say, Sunday has not happened yet. So I'm just going to leave that final line blank. I've added the camera to the bottom right of the bottom photo. And now I'm going to attempt to fit in a title as well as all of those words on the layout. So I'm putting in the words "week in the life" using the really gorgeous puffy alphabet sticker set. So I'm just putting that down the bottom there. And now I'm going to add some extra embellishments. Basically, I'm going to use up every available space on my layout that doesn't have writing on it to add in some of the embellishments. So I've added in some enamel triangles, I've added in the cloud stickers and the stars. I've also added in some arrows that's left over from last month's kit. And there I'm writing in the date for the date of the week that I've done there. So I did use a ruler for that one. And that's me finished. You'll see this layout has been completed off camera by putting in the final photograph and writing in the last pieces of journaling for the last day of the week. Thank you so much for watching. That was Niki Rowland for Freckled